Let me start with that part first. Okay, chale, let us quickly recall whatever we have learned in the last class. So we have learned about the electrolysis process. There are cathodes, there are anodes. So did I send you any home task?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Sir, where?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the electrical conductivity is the process by which we can get the electric. So most of the acids are the used as electrolytes. So there are some question: what is electrolyte and what is not? What are the electrolytes? We had a discussion in the last class. What are the electrolytes? Okay, and now we are very much focusing about that. What is the process of electrolysis? Right. So now this is the question: is that what is the process of electrolysis? So let us see that what is the process of electrolysis.
Positive ions are called cations. Negative ions are called anions. Now consider putting two electrical conductors into the liquid. Copper would be good as it has a higher melting point. Nothing happens to the ions at this point, but if we connect the two bits of copper to an electrical cell or power supply, then things start to get interesting. We do need to sidestep for a moment to look at electrical current in a metal. From our lesson Behaviour of Metallic Structures, we know that electrons in a metal aren't bound to particular atoms. They form a sea of electrons that can move easily if a potential difference or a voltage is applied across it. This could be from an electrical cell or a battery. The electrons will begin to drift towards the positive terminal of the battery, and this is what happens when current flows. Current is the movement of charge, in this case, electrons. Now, let's go back to our molten sodium chloride. We've added our copper wires, let's call them electrodes, and now we'll connect these to an electrical cell. The electrons will start to flow in the wires, and this will cause one electrode to become positively charged and the other negatively charged. This has an immediate knock-on effect in the molten sodium chloride, which you'll remember is a mixture of sodium cations and chloride anions. Anything positively charged in the liquid, in this case the sodium ions, is going to be attracted to the negative electrode. And anything negatively charged, in this case the chloride ions, is going to be attracted to the positive electrode. This is because opposite electrical charges attract. When the ions meet the electrodes, electron exchange happens, and this triggers a chemical reaction. Solids can form, gases can be given off, and new solutions can be left behind. It all depends on the liquid and what material the electrodes are made from. There is more detail about this process in our lesson Interpreting Electrode for the electrodes, which are usually metal plates with a larger surface area than a piece of wire. The positive electrode is called the anode, it attracts anions, and the negative electrode is called the cathode, it attracts cations. The liquid is effectively conducting electrical current. The only difference is that the charge carriers in the liquid, in other words the charged particles that are moving, are ions. If a liquid has free moving ions and can conduct like this, it is called an electrolyte. Remember that electrolysis can also take place in ionic solutions as well as molten compounds. The more concentrated that solution, the greater the ion flow rate. Ion flow rate can also be increased by increasing the potential difference or voltage across the cell. We'll be studying several examples of electrolysis in more detail in other lessons. The flow of electrical current in a conducting solution or molten.
Basically, what is electrolysis? So electrolysis, the production of chemical reaction by passing an electric current through an electrolyte is called electrolysis. Okay, this is called electrolysis. So you know that an electrolyte also contains ions which are changed, as you have seen in the video, and the positively charged ions are called cations and negatively charged ions are called anions, as we have seen from our last day's video also, last day's task also. Is it not? We have seen electrolyte, electrolysis, all these things we had a discussion. So those solids allowing electricity to passes through them are mainly many metals and alloys. They are called metallic or electrolytic conductors. And then we had also had a discussion about electrolyte, electrode, anode, and cathode. And then finally, we have learned about the learnings about electronic configurations, electrolysis, and also we have learned about the opposite attracts, the ions getting opposite ions attract each other. So these are the learnings of yesterday at the last class. Sorry, not in yesterday, it's the last class. Okay. So in this way, we came to know about this one. So now let me put it this one. So now this is electrolysis. Now write with me. All the students to write with me. So what is electrolysis? So the production of a chemical reaction by passing an electric current through an electrolyte is called electrolysis. Or also we can say that the chemical decomposition of constituents of solution on passage of electric current. Let me know when you have done. Pass through it. Okay, the pure water is a bad conductor of electricity. Why it is so? Because the current will not pass through it. Okay, So that's why it is a bad conductor of electricity. Okay, so now technically the electrical current will not pass through a sample of completely pure water under normal circumstances. However, the water that we get in the homes is not pure. And basically it contains as cations and anions. Why and how? In the corporation water, the supply water that is the sent from the corporation or municipality. So they mixed bleaching powder within bleaching powder. So what is the formula of bleaching powder? CaOCl, Cl, calcium chlorohypochlorite. So they mixed it with the drinkable water or the supplied water to disinfect the viruses and disinfected the other germs. So now this Cl is already there, which is act as an anion. Okay, so even small amount of dissolved salts, like you were dissolving potassium chloride or sodium chloride, so another impurity that is also act as an ion. So it's a very useful and important piece of information. It tells us that we come in contact with the electrical appliance also, like the impure water, there is a possibility that an electric current will flow. So all are requested to not to touch the electrical appliances with the wet hand, because the current will pass through it and you will get an electric shock. Okay, so the electrical conductivity of other liquids. So already we have seen about Yaman Talha. Yes, what is your question? Okay, so now there is a switch option. We give it a switch option and these things happen. Now अगर आप लोग देख सकते हैं जो तार जाता है ऊपर का, कितना 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 वाट का तार जाता है? 25,000 जो इलेक्ट्रिक वायर जाता है, जो ट्रेन चलता है ना, जो ट्रेन वगैरह चलता है इलेक्ट्रिक, एमपी में नहीं चलता है, बट इट रन्स इन वेस्ट बंगाल. तो ये पे इतना वोल्ट का यहाँ पे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी चलता है 25,000. देन a bird come and sit here. Does it happen anything?
No,
The
sir.
answer is no, nothing happened. But if we touch, what will happen?
So we will get a shock.
We might be experience the test of the death also. Okay, now the question is that you will not get shocked if you are disconnected with the earth. See what happened. We are touching something. We are touching something. That means you are a person. You are a person. You are touching with the earth. So what happened? You have become the medium by which the electricity passes, like this. If you are like Superman or Spider-Man or Chris 3, हवा में आप ऐसे ऐसे तैर रहे हो, हवा में ऐसे टच कर रहे हो, you will not have electric shock because your body is not used as a conductor. Are you getting my point? अभी ये क्या होता है, जो दो चिड़िया एक साथ बैठा है और चिड़िया कोई जगह ऐसा हो गया, दोनों का बीच में फंस गया, वो आउट हो गया, पूरा मर जाएगा, क्योंकि उसका बॉडी ये 25,000 वोल्ट जो है या 10,000 वोल्ट जो भी है, ये इसका अंदर से ये करंट जो है फ्लो कर रहा है. द मोमेंट ये करंट अंदर से फ्लो करेगा तो वो चिड़िया मर जाएगा. इसी हिसाब से इफ अ मैन, अगर हम लोग इसको टच कर रहे हैं, सो वी गॉट इलेक्ट्रिक शॉक बिकॉज आवर बॉडी बिकम द कंडक्टर. लेकिन आप कोई एक वायर को ऐसे पकड़ के रखो और हवा में ऐसे झूलते रहो तो कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. तो नीचे ऐसे लिखा होना चाहिए, डोंट ट्राई टू टच एट योर होम. नहीं तो मेरा जेल हो जाएगा, है ना, क्योंकि आपका जो बॉडी है तो ये ग्रेविटेशन के वजह से आपको नीचे खींच रहा है, और उसका जो वेट है, समझ लीजिए उसका वेट तो बहुत कम है, आप उसको अगर ऐसे खींचाटानी करोगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली उसका तार को खींचते हुए आप नीचे गिर जाओगे by the gravitation. And इसका बाद ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह मुहम्मद रसूलुल्लाह हो जाएगा सबके लिए. इन्ना लिल्लाहि व इन्ना इलैहि राजिऊन. तो ऐसा करना नहीं है. तो इसी वजह से चिड़िया ने अल्लाह ने चिड़िया को यह सहूलियत दिया हुआ है। चिड़िया जब बैठता है उसको कुछ नहीं होता है, लेकिन इंसान दोनों को एक साथ पकड़ लेता है और मर जाता है। और कभी कभार ये चिड़िया बीच में अगर फंस जाता है तो चिड़िया इधर उधर हो जाता है, हरियाली नहीं रहता है, मौत आ जाता है सबके लिए। सो इज इट क्लियर दोस्त हैव आस्क्ड मी द क्वेश्चन? ओके गुड, चलिए जाहिद इकबाल। So very good question actually. It's a very good question. Yeah, Sonu Rahman, tell me. Yes, what's your question?
Sir, still sometimes bird die.
Yes.
Basically crows.
Why?
They
Why?
sit and I'm asking why they die.
Yeah, I have already explained now, beta. This thing happen because sometimes the crow, touch both of the thing, both of the wire. That's why they die. And definitely you are going to experience, there will be a flash. There will be like something like explosion, boom.
Yes, sir.
And then it dies. Otherwise, it cannot die. This is the thing. There will be two wire. Always there will be two wire. There is single wire you are connecting it, nothing will happen until unless you are connected with the earth. The same thing happen when lightning happens. See, our body becomes the conductor and the electric passes through our body from our head to our foot. And then we got, the electric shock. Yes, Minhajuddin.
Sir, if the bird doesn't touch the two wires, there will be no shock?
No, nothing will happen.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So I got an important call. I need to receive this. Just a minute.
At the end of the lesson, we will be able to check a tester to ensure that it is working properly. Use a tester to find good and bad liquid electric conductors. Know how to prepare a tester using a compass needle.
Don't touch the switch with your wet hand. You will get an electric shock.
But how, Mom?
Your hands are wet and water is a good conductor of electricity. So, you will get a shock.
Please explain it to me in detail. Why would this happen to me?
To understand this, let us do some activities. You know that a tester is an equipment used to test solid materials, that whether they conduct electricity or not. So, whenever we touch this tester to a simple electric circuit, the bulb will glow.
But the bulb is not glowing, Mom.
Yes, what are the possible reasons for this?
The possible reasons may be the tester is not working. The connections may be
Water in a beaker and dip two wires from the end of the tester into the water. What do you observe?
the tester glows.
This means water allows the electric current to pass. Therefore, water is a good conductor of electricity.
Are there other liquids which are good conductor of electricity?
Change the liquid in beaker with lemon juice or vinegar and repeat the activity. You will find the tester glows. Hence, we can say that lemon juice and vinegar are also good conductors of electricity.
Can we also check the soap solution?
Yes, when we repeat this activity with the soap solution, the tester glows. Collect some rainwater in a beaker. When we repeat this activity, we find that the tester glows again. That means soap solution and rainwater are also good conductors of electricity. Liquids that allow electricity to pass are called good conductors of electricity. Solutions of acids, bases and salts
It's very important for us. The good conductor of electricities are acids like lemon juice and vinegar, bases like soap solution, and salts like rainwater. Okay.
are good conductors.
So basically, one thing you should always remember, if there is any ions, because what happened in case of electrolysis or electricity, there we need ions, we need electrons. So until unless there is an occurrence of ions, it cannot be a good conductor. Okay, so that's why lemon called acid.
Electricity.
Lemon contains acid. Lemon juice, vinegar is also contain acids. It's like CH2COH. So that's why it's a good conductor of electricity. On the other hand, bases in soap solution, there will be OH minus. In the salts, there will be rainwater is there. So that's why they are also good conductor of electricity. Liquids that allows electricity to passes are called good conductors of electricity.
But all the liquids are not good conductors of electricity.
How is that possible, Mom?
Some liquids, like distilled water, do not allow current to pass. So, they are bad conductors of electricity. Distilled water does not contain any minerals, salts, or impurities. Hence, it does not conduct electricity. Liquids that do not allow electricity to pass are called bad conductors of electricity. In some situations, though liquid is conducting electricity, bulb may not glow.
How is that possible, Mom?
Actually, bulb starts glowing due to the heating effect of current. The filament of the bulb gets heated due to high temperature. If current is too weak,
so it's a separate issue. We have got an idea about why this electricity pass through and what is the necessity. The necessity of being a good conductor of electricity is that there might be occurrence of ions. Until unless there is no ions, you cannot be able to act as a good conductor in case of electricity or whatever maybe it happens. Is that clear to all? ये सबके पास क्लियर है? आमिर हुसैन, समझ में नहीं आया? दोनों तरफ मुंडिया हिल रहा है. या जाहिद इकबाल.
Sir, what is the difference between electron and ions?
Electrons is like anda and ions is like the murgi. Like that, when we are removing electron, so or gaining electron, it is becoming an ion. There is a neutral atom. When is gaining electron, जिसको electron अब gain कर रहा है, तो उसको हम लोग बोल रहे हैं anions. और जो इलेक्ट्रॉन छोड़ रहा है तो उसको पॉजिटिव आयंस हो रहा है, तो हम उसको क्या बोल रहे हैं? कैटायंस बोल रहे हैं. यस, आमिर हुसैन मुल्तानी.
सर वो समझ में नहीं आया सर अभी वाला.
कौन सा वाला? ये डिस्टिल वाटर वाला?
डिस्टिल्ड वाटर वाला. यस.
हाँ, डिस्टिल वाटर में होता क्या है, जैसे हम लोग दुकान में जाते हैं तो बहुत ऐड देता है ना, हमारे खान साहब और बहुत साहब ऐड देता है, तो बहुत ढक ढक करके पानी पिया जाता है, बिस्लरी का, एक्वाफिना का. क्या बोल रहा, मिनरल वाटर दो. अरे भाई, मिनरल वाटर नहीं है ये तो ये पैकेज ड्रिंकिंग वाटर है. तो मिनरल का मतलब क्या होता है? मिनरल का मतलब मिनरल्स जो सॉइल के अंदर होता है, अर्थ के अंदर होता है, राइट? आयरन होता है, पोटाशियम होता है, ये सारा बहुत सारे सॉल्ट्स है ना. तो ये डिस्टिल वाटर जो है, इसमें ये मिनरल्स नहीं रहता है. लाइक हम लोग जो अभी घर में सब लगाते हैं ना, ये एक्वागार्ड लगाते हैं, ये वगैरह वगैरह जो प्यूरिफायर लगाते हैं, इसमें एक चीज आता है टीडीएस का मतलब होता है टोटल डिसॉल्व सॉल्यूट. तो इसको हम लोग ना कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं. तो इसका मतलब आप पानी में कितना मिनरल्स रख सकते हो. जैसे कोई जगह गांव में ऐसा होता है, दांत पीला पीला हो जाता है. क्यों होता है? क्योंकि उसमें आयरन बहुत ज्यादा रहता है ना. और जब खाना चावल पकाता है, दाल पकाता है, सबका कलर जो है ना एक ब्राउनिश कलर आ जाता है, योलिस कलर आ जाता है. तो इस हिसाब से वो मिनरल्स जो है अल्लाह सुब्हान व तआला ने मिट्टी के अंदर डाल के रखा है. तो वो मिट्टी से जो वो इंटेक करता है, जो हम लोग नेचुरली जो पानी पीते हैं, ये जो मतलब जो ट्यूबवेल है और जो भी है इसमें से. लेकिन जो प्रोसेस किया हुआ है, जो इंजेक्शन में वगैरह में लगाता है, वो डिस्टिल वाटर है. इसलिए डिस्टिल वाटर दिया जाता है कि एक पेशेंट को समझ में लीजिए कि उसका आयंस सोडियम और पोटेशियम ज्यादा है. तो आप क्या कर रहे हैं कि नॉर्मल टैप में दे दिया डिस्टिल वाटर, उसमें मिला लिया, तो एक्चुअली यू आर इंजेक्टिंग सोडियम एंड पोटेशियम एंड यू आर हेल्पिंग द पेशेंट टू डाई. तो इस हिसाब से आपको ऐसा पानी इस्तेमाल करना है कि जिसमें दूसरा कोई इंप्यूरिटी ना रहे और दूसरा कोई उसमें जो है आयंस ना रहे. तो इस हिसाब से हम लोग इसको बोलते हैं डिस्टिल वाटर. तो इसमें कोई आयंस नहीं रहेगा. अब जब ना रहेगा बांस और ना बजेगी बांसुरी। तो आयंस नहीं रहेगा तो उसमें इलेक्ट्रोलाइट जो है वो इसमें कैसे इसको मतलब कंडक्टिविटी होगा इसके अंदर। समझ में आ रहा है बात? ठीक है, चलिए गुड। तो ये था इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस के बारे में जो शॉर्ट मतलब जो डिस्कशन था इसके बारे में। अब तो इफेक्ट क्या होता है, अब पानी का हम लोग मतलब जो NaCl का भी हम लोग देखें कि NaCl का एक हम लोग एग्जांपल लेते हैं कि NaCl का इफेक्ट्स ऑफ इम्प्यूरिटीज ऑन इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिविटी ऑफ वाटर। अब इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिविटी ऑफ वाटर का इफेक्ट क्या है, तो उसका अगर सोडियम क्लोराइड उसमें ऑलरेडी रहता है तो ये सोडियम Na+ और Cl- रहता है। ये क्या रहता है कि अब आयंस और एटम्स और ग्रुप्स और एटम्स which are पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव चार्ज आर कॉल्ड आयंस। तो पॉजिटिव चार्ज वालों को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, यमन क्या बोलते हैं पॉजिटिव चार्ज को? यमन खड़गपुर से क्या बोलते हैं? व्हाट डू वी कॉल?
Cations.
Cations. And with the negative charge we call anions. So in sodium chloride, do we have Na+ and Cl-? Is it not? तो ये Na+ और Cl- जब रहता है पानी के अंदर, अगर ये इम्प्यूरिटी रहता है तो ये क्या करता है, ये हेल्प करता है ये पूरा प्रोसेस करने के लिए। कौन सा प्रोसेस? ये इलेक्ट्रोलाइटिक प्रोसेस करने के लिए। नाउ वी आर टेकिंग, समझ लीजिए, इलेक्ट्रोलाइसिस ऑफ सोडियम क्लोराइड सॉल्यूशन, or we call it also brine solution. This is very much important. This is the last thing that I will have a discussion today, and I would like to finish my class for today. Do you have any class from 3 o'clock? Do you have any class from 3 o'clock? Chaliye. We have an electrolysis of brine solution. Brine solution is also called sodium chloride solution. So now I am using the term, brine. Why it is called as brine also? This is also important. See, this is solution. I'm not saying that solid sodium chloride, because solid sodium chloride cannot conduct the electricity. So it has to be molten. So molten electricity. But so then the carbon electrode we are using as that's a graphite electrode, we also say. So the positive and negative charge is there. So now what happened, if we are giving the impurities are there, NaCl is there, and in H2O there are H+ and OH- is also there. So let us see a small video and let us have a clear discussion, idea about this brine solution. This is all in 310. There is a Hindi class. Okay. So just wait a little bit and then we'll like to finish. 310 there will be Hindi class. Okay, the next class I would like to discuss. No, nothing to worry about. Okay, so let's just let me have a discussion with this thing, that what happened in Na+ and Cl-, there are some reactions. So what are the reactions? So in the reduction reaction is there, and oxidation reduction is also there. Okay, चलिए next class में इसको discussion करते हैं, क्योंकि you need the idea of reduction and oxidation also. So let me know, is there any confusion till what we have learned? Okay, so for today's, till now we are just finishing today's class. I will send you all the details, recording, and all the tasks also. Okay, thank you to all.